During the summer and during that long green season after Pentecost, we have a lot of readings from Christ's teaching and his earthly ministry. And the compilers of the lectionary also have a lot of images of the natural world around us. You know, it's summertime, we're spending more time outside, we're spending time in our gardens, and we see a lot of the parables and teachings that Christ gave us talking about the mustard seed, which we will get this Sunday, or the tree of life, and things like that, images drawn from the natural world. So this Sunday we get our first in a several-week dose of these natural images, things that allow us to really contemplate how we can see God in creation and how we can experience mercy, love, truth, even justice in the natural world around us. So fittingly, for this first Sunday where we're going to be exploring these themes, the organ Prelude and Postlude is actually one piece. It's a prelude and fugue by Felix Mendelssohn. The prelude and fugue in organ terms is most associated with J.S. Bach, the Baroque composer. But of course, J.S. Bach is such a towering figure that most composers that came after have wanted to pay homage or use that genre as a way to express their own compositional agenda. So Felix Mendelssohn wrote several preludes and fugues. The one in G major really seems very pastoral, very bucolic. It sounds a little bit like shepherds on the hillside. So the prelude will be the prelude for the service, and the fugue will be the postlude. And then we will come in singing "Glorious Things of Thee Are Spoken," Zion City of Our God, with that very familiar tune. So that tune was written by Franz Joseph Haydn, a contemporary, a little bit older than Mozart, and he wrote that as what he hoped would become the Austrian national hymn. And he actually set that a couple of different ways. He used it for a set of variations in a string quartet, and he also employed that melody in an earlier symphony. And we've really come to associate that tune with these words, but the words come from the English clergyman John Newton. And John Newton, you might recognize that name as the composer of the hymn, of the poem, Amazing Grace. John Newton was very active in a lot of different areas of ministry, and he wrote a lot of hymns. He collected his works in several volumes, and I happen to have one of the first printings of this from 1779, and this volume is called the Olney Hymns because the parish that he served was in Olney, a village in England. And here you can see in Book 1 of the Olney Hymns that hymn number 60 is called Zion, or the City of God, Glorious Things of Thee Are Spoken. So it's kind of neat to see the original way that these words appeared, of course not associated with any tune at all, and we've paired the tune later. Speaking of interesting tune and text pairings, at the sequence hymn, as again we are exploring these themes from the natural world, we will sing this beautiful Fred Pratt Green text, "For the fruit of all creation, thanks be to God." It's so interesting. This tune actually predates the text, and it's a really interesting tune. You hear a melody, and then you hear the melody that's transposed up a few notes, and then you hear another kind of repeated section, and then it comes back to the beginning. Now the same thing up a little bit. And now a new theme. So you can hear a lot of repetition in the tune, and the hymn poet, Fred Pratt Green, wrote this text specifically for this tune, and he plays up some of those repetitions by having these kind of refrains in the verse. Thanks be to God, coming over and over, or God's will be done, coming at pivotal moments. So you can really pay attention to how that text and tune are so seamlessly crafted together. And of course, we have a lot of other great hymns and choral anthems in store. So we invite you to join us here at St. John's as we celebrate God's presence in the world around us.